Hello, welcome back, guys. We are back with a brand new chapter of our novel Obsession, chapter number 20. Let's begin. I put the ginger and tea powder in the boiling water and waited for 2 minutes before pouring the hot tea into a cup. It's around 8 at night, and I'm still in the kitchen making ginger tea because of that stupid blue eyed man. When I put extra chili powder on his aloo sabji, I didn't know he would finish it without wasting any. I just wanted to test him, but instead he surprised me. I know I shouldn't have listened to Aina's words when she made this stupid plan of hers to test him, which she named Kore Pakore Ki Pariksha. But what I don't know is that man crazy or something? How can he eat all that when he knows I made it spicy and he can't tolerate it? I shook my head at his strange behavior and took the cup with me to his room. Even though I don't like him, I couldn't stop myself from caring for him. Are you sure? My mind asked mockingly while I chose to ignore it. I entered the elevator and pressed the Michael Romano, who was the accomplice with Lucas in my kidnapping. Knocking on the door twice, I entered the room only to be met with silence. But the sound from the bathroom caught my attention. I chuckled a little, placed the tea on the bedside table, and sat there. This room was way too big for a bachelor, just like how the mansion is for 5 people. I looked around, taking in the familiar surroundings which have been my escape haven for the few days. I sat on the bed and admired the painting that was placed in the middle of the wall. It was the same painting he told me was expensive. I have always wanted to be a painter. But Papa never allowed me to draw anything as he thought it was not the best career option and it would distract me from my studies. He believed that me being a teacher would be more beneficial for the family, and I accepted it because our family was having financial problems. My mother, on the other hand, hated me dancing with a passion. She said that girls from respected families don't dance around in front of people. Rather, they would learn how to manage household chores. But even with their restrictions, I secretly painted and danced with the help of Aina. Whenever I was sad from the taunts of our neighbors and relatives, Aina would take me to the Shiv Mandir where I taught dance to small kids. Whenever we went shopping in the bazaar, she would buy art supplies for me and keep them at her house. When I visited her house, I would draw whatever my heart desired. Till now, I have only drawn portraits of Mahadev or Shiv Parvati. I never learned dance from anyone because of my parents, but Ina would say that Mahadev had blessed me with the ability to dance from birth, and I choose to believe her. Thinking about how my parents makes me want to cry. How can they forget about me so easily? Maybe it's all a misunderstanding. I'll call them after asking Lucas for the phone. I hope he won't get angry with me for mixing extra chili powder in his food. I heard the sound of the bathroom door opening, indicating his arrival. I sat up straight on the bed. A few minutes passed, and I felt the beside me dipping. I sensed his cologne even before his presence. It was a mix of woody and mint. He didn't say anything as I took the tea from the table and passed it towards him. Take it, it will help with indigestion, I said, and felt him taking the cup from my hands. Tingles erupted on my hands as his fingers touched mine. I immediately withdrew my hand and covered it with my pallu. I wanted to ask him about the phone, but I was nervous about how to start a conversation. This was very awkward as we had never talked or sat down like this together. But my body has come to accept his huge presence in my life. Do you want to say something, darling? He asked in his excessively deep voice. He was the perfect definition of beauty. God must have taken his sweet time while making this devil, because everything about him was perfection. I, why do I always stutter while talking to him? Clearing my throat, I turned to face him only to find his face closer to mine. My eyes widened and my heart jumped in surprise. With great difficulty, I managed to utter a few words. I wanted to call my parents, I said, looking into his eyes, which hadn't left mine since the moment he sat beside me. He didn't say anything but stood up from the bed and went towards the wardrobe. It was then I noticed that his upper body was completely naked as he wasn't wearing anything except black pants. His back muscles stretched as he walked. His back was covered with tattoos which I found intriguing, and a corner of my dirty mind whispered to me to touch and feel them with my fingertips. I must have gone crazy because I was fantasizing about touching my kidnapper. Your kidnapper is also your husband, my heart said. He disappeared inside the wardrobe and came back after a few seconds with two boxes in his hands. One box was bigger than the other. He came towards me and settled beside me with the boxes in his hands. Here, these are for you, darling, he said, extending the boxes towards me. I looked at him in confusion. These are for me, I asked, confusion lacing my tone. Only for you, he said. I didn't know what to do as I looked at him and the boxes in confusion. At last, I reluctantly took the boxes from his hands. Again, our fingers touched during the exchange. Damn these butterflies! I looked down at the boxes in my hands and then at him. Open it, he said in an encouraging tone. For as many days as I have been staying here, I have never seen or heard him behaving and talking with such politeness. He always carries a serious and dangerous aura around him, which makes it hard for others to approach him. Placing the big box on the bed, I took the small one in my hand with the help of the knife he gave me. I started opening the box. After completely opening it, I saw that it was a smartphone. I took it from the box and looked at it, then at the man sitting beside me who had a hopeful expression on his face. You wanted to talk to your parents, so here is your phone, darling, he said, and I looked at him shocked. Is he feeling all right? Has his mind come to its senses after eating the spicy food? Are you sure? I asked, still doubting his intentions behind these gestures. My sweet darling, I know it must be very hard for you to live forcefully in an unknown country, away from your parents with the man who abducted you from your world. I also know that whatever I do to make you comfortable in this mansion, it won't feel like home to you, unless you want it to be your home. No matter how much money and expensive things I buy for you, you don't need any of that. But you would crave your country and customs. We have many differences. We are like the two poles of the earth which have miles of distance. You are respectful and kind to everyone, while my kindness and respect is only limited to you. I love you with all of my existence, while you hate me to the core. We speak different languages, we have different cultures, and more than anything, I chose you as my wife while you had no other option but to forcefully accept me as your husband for the sake of your family. Even after all this, you are still kind enough to care about my health. This is what makes me fall in love with you. I know the way I forced you to marry me and how I brought you here cannot be forgotten and deserves forgiveness. You married me for the sake of your family, but you were going to marry that idiot for the sake of your family. You never loved him, darling, he said, his deep and filled voice with so many emotions that it created havoc inside my heart and mind. How do you know that I didn't love Rakesh? I asked in a challenging tone. His face tightened at the mention of Rakesh. Don't speak his name from your beautiful mouth, darling. It makes me want to kill him. And to answer your question, your eyes are more expressive than your mouth. I can read them like my favorite poem, he said, and I gawked at the intensity in his gaze. I know that I'm not the man you wanted for yourself, but I will do everything in my power to be the man you want. You have given me 6 months and I will try my best. So please be genuine with me, darling. Do 6 months. He pleaded, and my heart suddenly fluttered at the thought of him doing everything to make me his. What is wrong with my heart? I was at a loss for words, so I stayed silent. When he realized I wouldn't say anything, he exhaled before asking me to open the big vase. It was large and heavy, and I had to get his help to open it. I removed the extra wrapping from the item inside the box, only to be shocked by seeing the most beautiful moti of Mahadev. I immediately took it out of the box to have a closer look. It was made of gold and it was absolutely stunning. One look at the Muti and I knew that I was not alone here anymore. Huh. I don't know if this is the same statue you wanted earlier, but I hope you like it. I heard him say and looked at him, only to see him rubbing the back of his neck in nervousness. It's small, but I promise I'll make a bigger version of. He couldn't complete his words as I hugged him tightly with one arm holding the murti and the other around his neck. I felt him stiffen under my touch, and that's when a realization hit me. I was hugging him, hugging my husband. I immediately tried to withdraw but was held in place by his strong arms around my bare waist, and I'm glued to his naked and tattooed chest. Please stay for a minute. I need it, darling. I need you. I know you are going to regret this moment, but for me, it's like heaven. Having you in my arms. So please stay for a minute, he whispered near my ear. And I could feel the vulnerability in his voice, so I let him hug me because, to my surprise, I didn't feel regret for being in his arms. Rather, I felt a sense of security and belonging. Again, what the hell is wrong with my heart? After staying like that for 5 minutes, he reluctantly released me from his hold. 5 minutes, I counted. As soon as I got free from his hold, I covered my face with my hair, feeling too awkward to face him and hear him chuckle stupid. You can look at me, darling, I heard him say, but I didn't reply. Instead, I admired the beauty of the Murti of Mahadev. Thank you for this, Murti, I said, genuinely feeling grateful for his concern. I felt him scooting closer to me, and my heart again started beating rapidly, like it was running in a marathon. Why does my body have to feel all these weird things whenever he's close to me? It's annoying and terrifying. I felt his fingers under my chin as he gently lifted my face to look into his addictive blue eyes. My heart wanted to melt every time I felt the intensity those orbs carried. Mahadev, what is happening with me? You don't have to thank me for anything, darling. You never have to thank anyone for anything. Whatever you get in your life is what you deserve, he said, and it felt like magic as I nodded at him. He smiled at me, showing that single dimple on his right cheek. I wanted to touch it, and his naked body being close to me was making me feel weird things. Then, very slowly, he got up from the bed and asked me to do the same. In a trance and feeling hypnotized by his eyes, I stood up from the bed while holding the murti with both hands. He came towards me and then turned me to face the wall while my back faced his front. The butterflies in my belly danced with joy at his every touch. My breath hitched in my throat when he moved my hair to one side. His actions were slow, very slow and sensual. I shouldn't feel all these kinds of things, especially for him. But nothing felt more right than this, and I couldn't deny how much my body liked his touch and craved more from him. Am I getting horny day by day? I felt something cold hitting my neck as he put something around it. I felt a mix of excitement and anticipation. Trying to distract myself from his touch, I looked around the room only to face the mirror which reflected our current position. My face was obviously flushed with a red hue. I saw him lowering his face towards the back of my neck as I felt his hot breath on my skin. I gripped the moody tightly. It was then I noticed that the thing he was placing around my neck was a pendant. Not just any pendant, but the same Rudraksh pendant I had lost. I wanted to ask so many things as I looked into his eyes through the mirror, but remained silent. He lowered his head while his eyes never left mine, and he locked the chain with his teeth. Ah! An involuntary whisper left my mouth as I felt his hot breath and the tip of his tongue on my back. My face reddened in embarrassment as I felt him smoking against my skin. Those sounds are going to get you into trouble, darling. A very pleasurable one at that. He whispered near my ear, and I felt a feather light touch on the exposed area of my neck. My eyes immediately closed. The sensation it was too good for me to handle and maintain eye contact. I controlled myself from making any sound as I felt the touch for the second time, and I knew what that touch was. It felt like my whole body was on fire from his touch. I only opened my eyes when he took a step back from me, breathing deeply to control my uneven breathing. I turned around to look at him, who hadn't stopped looking at me. How did you find it? I asked with a shaky voice. I found it for you. He answered, even though it wasn't the answer I needed. Why did you find it? I asked. He took a step closer to me, closing the distance between us. Because you were crying, darling, and I'll find and remove every reason that makes you cry, he said in a possessive tone. I caught at his answer and asked, and what if you are the reason of my tears? I'll destroy myself if needed. You are my goddess, and anyone who hurts you will not live to breath for another second, even if it includes myself, he said, his eyes darkening with each word, and I stood there looking into his eyes, feeling so many unknown things inside myself, unable to name any of them. Next chapter is going to be the super duper important. I hope you guys remember the names from the previous chapter. How is Lucas and Ava's chemistry? Is it working or not? Tell me in the comments. So here our chapter number 20 ends and we will meet tomorrow again with a brand new chapter. Till then, like, share, subscribe, comment. And we were not posting any chapter from some days. It was because I got a cold, guys. So forgive me for this, but from now we will be publishing the content regularly. So till then, bye bye. Take care.